Hey, what's going on, vets? And also you guys who are watching on the Shorts channel, this video is going on both channels. So let's get this video started as to why I had to withdraw my residential visa, okay? There was two reasons for that. I know I've all been excited and talking about it, beginning of this year, applying for residency, getting that out of the way, which will open up more doors for me to get out and travel to other places, which I can do on the pension visa I have, but you can only be out for about 6 months with the pension visa. If you stay out longer than 6 months with the pension visa, you basically have to start over. With the residential visa, you only got to come back for 1 day every 2 years to keep that visa going. So that was the incentive for me, all excited to get that visa. So let's get into why I had to withdraw the visa. Okay, so the first reason why I had to withdraw the visa is because the visa that I have is every 3 years, right? And even though I'm over 5 years now, currently at the moment, I have to wait within 4 months of the current visa that I have to expire before I can apply. That's what I was told by my attorney. Now, if someone else knows something different, they're hearing something different than what I was told from my attorney. Now, I've had this same attorney since I first applied for the first visa, the second visa that I'm on now, and for the residency. So I have to be within, according to my attorney, 4 months of this visa expiring. So I gotta wait till later on this year to apply for residency. That was reason number one. Reason number two, and my attorney explained to me that I probably would have been denied. And the reason why I would have been denied is because my insurance that I'm paying through, I think it's called EPM, okay? Now, this is my ignorance because I did not check into it, but I'm paying close to $200 US. And I thought all $200 was just going to the insurance. It is not. Only about $100 of that is going to the insurance. The other 85 to 90, depending on the exchange rate, is going into their pension program as well as taxes. So for those of you who are from the US and you're familiar with this, like with immigrants, if an immigrant goes to the US and goes to work in the US, they're going to pay federal taxes, state taxes, and they're going to pay Social Security that they're never going to collect on unless they become a citizen. Well, that's the exact same model here in Colombia when you apply for residency. Applying for residency basically means you're going to pay into the system, until the local health system like everybody else, and you're going to pay into their retirement program as well as taxes, but it goes by a percentage of what you make. So 40% of what you make plus another formula they have that I didn't quite understand, right? And I'm using one of my lower incomes, which is Social Security, which is more than enough to provide what was needed to qualify for the residential visa. Well, as it turns out, I wasn't paying nearly enough. So I mentioned 200 earlier, right? Wrong. I gotta pay closer to 500 a month, okay? And that's based upon my income. So with that being said, starting in February, I'm going to be paying closer to 500 instead of closer to 200. Now, there are going to be months where I'm over 500, depending on the exchange rate, and that's fine. I still think it's well worth it because with residency, it opens up a lot more doors. I'm able to do a lot of the things the Pisces can do, except voting, which I don't care about that here anyway. But as far as like renting, that's my number one thing. Not always having to worry about getting a cosigner or can't talk to these agencies because I don't have the right ID. Able to open up different accounts all over town because I got the right ID. That was the main reason, and travel were the main three reasons why I wanted to go ahead and get my residency. But because I can't get it right now, I'm just going to stay within the country, travel inside the country, not leave the country until I apply, get approved, and then I'm out. Now, I'm not leaving Colombia for good, but I just want to get out, see something different, do something different for a while, and then come back, because this is going to be my base. The way I kind of see it is once I get residency, I'm going to try to find a spot in Poblado, kind of exclusive if possible, right? And with that ID, I'll be able to do that much easier. Find a spot more secluded, leave my stuff there, and then be able to get out and travel more. At least that's the plan for right now, but that's also subject to change. So I'm just saying it right now, but who knows in the future, it may be something else I may end up doing. But for right now, that is my plan. But that is to let you guys know that residency is more complicated. You got to be more accurate with your numbers. Like most people here, when they're on a pension program, they're trying to pay the least amount they can for the insurance. Like you can pay all the way down, I believe $15 to $20 for insurance. You ain't really covering nothing, but you can pay down to that amount. When it comes to applying for the residency though, you got to have everything in a row. Everything's got to be squared away. Now, a couple things of note that you're going to have that's a little different. Hopefully you kept your original ID card when you first got your visa, because you're going to need that. You're going to need passport photos, of course, pages in your passport, the amount of money that's required, you're going to need that. And it's going to need to be an, what do you call it? Apostille. You're going to need an apostille. Now, they used to do that at the embassy. As of this year, they no longer do it. So that's another fee you got to pay. Now, if you're already in the States, you can get that done in the States. But if you're not in the States, you're here in Colombia, you're going to have to pay to get that done. And the price is going to range anywhere from $150 to $300, depending on the services that you use. Now, speaking of pricing, and this is the last thing I'll get into with pricing, the price for residency, much higher than it is for a pension visa. Pension visa, depending on the agency that you use, and if you got all your information and you're willing to get out and do some things, you can pay as low as $450. It can range all the way up to $800, okay? For residency, you got a couple of fees in there that they can't do nothing about. For example, the second half, once you get approved, you got to pay a $400 fee to get that visa. Once you're approved, you paying $400, right? Then you still got to pay for the visa, which is probably like $35. And then there's another fee in there. I want to say it's like $100 and some bucks. So that's over $600, or right at $600. And we haven't even talked about the first part. The first half of it, you know, you got to pay the application fee, the apostille, all that. By the time it's all said and done for me, I'm probably going to be close to $1,100 by the time it's all said and done. But I've heard people range anywhere from $900, what you doing basically everything except the apostille and translating, all the way up to $2,000 if you get one of these agencies that's out of the US to do it. So it's going to range. It's going to vary wildly as far as pricing goes. So that's it for now. Hey, I appreciate everybody watching as always. And until the next time, guys, I'll see you all later. I'm out. Peace.